Okay, so in the last video, we looked at the top three zip codes for supply and demand ratio. In this case, we're going to look at a different question, and specifically the bottlenecks in an onboarding process. So it implies that there's a multi-step onboarding process for nurses to be onboarded in the platform and be ready to accept shifts. And so how the data is kind of structured here, it's not ideal. We're assuming that this is kind of given to us by somebody who may not be at the company anymore, and we have to just do a little bit of cleaning magic to get it, how we want it. So this credentials table, we're going to look at it as like one step of that multi-step process. And in our process now, we're going to have two steps, credential step and a registration step. Well, not in that order. In reality, obviously, there's going to be many more steps to give an onboarding process, but we're just going to look at two for the sake of simplicity right now. And so, how this data is structured is it would be, one log, one row would be one log for each completed credential step. And so, what we're going to do is append this data to all the other steps tables. We're going to just add a step label smart column. We'll just do it as a raw. And then we're going to just cast it as a cool. So we have that. And now we're going to add a smart column for the average time to complete. Getting the date diff seconds of time and the time. Okay, and we're going to make these column headers a little taller. Okay, and so now we're going to go back to the other onboarding table, which is going to be this registration step. So, registering for the platform. Okay, we're going to do a couple of similar steps. We're going to add a smart column first, which is going to be the step label. And then we'll just call it registration. And then we'll add another one, which is the time to complete. Call number. Awesome. And then we're going to add rows. I already have them added, but I'll show you how easy it is. All you do is select the data set you want to append from, pick that source data, and then we're going to map every column that we want to map to. So in this case, we also want to add these and map these smart columns to each other. So this is just going to be literally taking two data sets and appending them together. In SQL terms, it's a union, right? So we're going to save this. It's going to apply it. Cool. So now we're at 159 records. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pivot on the step label and then get the average time to complete. Move this over here again. Actually could have named that underlying column time to complete. It's not really average at this point, but it's all good. Awesome. So now we have the average time to complete in seconds for each of our onboarding steps. And so now, whoever asked us for this analysis, this might not be sufficient to send them, just sending lists around. And so we're actually going to go and create a little visualization for it. We're going to create a dashboard, and then we will add a chart from that registrations table. And then we'll do it as a bar chart with the step label on the x-axis and then the average time to complete on the y-axis. Cool. So we're seeing credentials, takes obviously much more time to complete. Let's go ahead and add another view in here with a metric block. And we're going to do the same thing. Select from that registration step and then set a 50% width for prettiness. And this is going to be the average time on board. And we're just going to take every single average time, every single step, and sum together the average time to complete. So we can get one number, which is just end to end, how long it takes to complete onboarding. Awesome. It's a little weird formatting there. If we go back to that underlying data set here, we can add some formatting here and then put a comma on it. We'll go back to that dashboard. We're going to name this dashboard onboarding analysis. And you see that this formatting is now respected. We could also add some sort of label. And then add a rich text block at the very top just to provide some commentary on our super cool analysis. Off the background, drag this to the top. And there we go. Now we have a link that we can send out to, the stakeholders in our company who are trying to, get to the bottom of our onboarding process. And it's a persistent link that's live updated with underlying data. It looks pretty. We can give them read-only privileges. And, in just a few minutes, we got, kind of the root of the issue and, derive some insight.